Alright guys, beautiful day, upstate New York. Just going on a little hike. To the right of me is the Hudson River, and then to the left of me is kind of an inlet over there. The old town of Moreau Onion. I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a Bigfoot sighting out here, and it really traumatized the father and son who had the experience, because they came down and were just gonna park and hang out, and as they were coming down this hill down over here, they saw this large, hairy, human-like creature, hominid, run down the embankment. I don't know what they're doing down here. I don't know what these green things are. They're on both sides. This has been like public access for years. No clue what they are doing. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to go on a little hike and kind of shoot the breeze with y'all. I was thought about going up to where Tom Messick disappeared, but I don't want to today. It's kind of a far ride, and it was kind of crappy earlier in the day. But after the live stream last night, great live stream, had a blast. Well, I'm recording this on Sunday, so I said last night, but you guys will see this on Monday. Robert Sr. called me, and Jr., and wanted to give me kind of like a little update on what's been going on. The charges against Junior have been dropped. The vandalization charge has been dropped, which was great, because he didn't vandalize the thing. He was just hiking to, get some proof for us, which is not a crime. So we got talking, and he lives in Silver City, which is New Mexico. So we were just kind of chewing the fat, and I said, well, how are all the state or federal access roads going into the park? How are they looking? And he said, as of right now, they are open, but he thinks that in the near future that they may be closing down. The LBL, I guess, has been closed for a couple of weeks, and that's strange. Arcadia National Park in Maine is closed down. The Adirondacks is too big of a park to close down. I don't think they'd close the entire park. But we got to talking about this, the alert that just happened, where everyone received their alert at 2:20 Eastern Standard Time. And, I said, a lot of people were worried that it was going to be like some trigger for a vaccine, that, maybe it was something to do with Dogman. I don't. And I kind of ran this by him, and he kind of solidified my idea. Was that, what if they did that and had people blow it up, like on social media spots and stuff like that, for the simple fact that at 2:20 something big went down, and it kept us all focused on one thing and one thing only: our phones, our computers, and our TVs and radios. Not that people listen to radios that much anymore. My parents do. NPR, actually. But I said, you know, what if something went down that we weren't watching, you know? And he did say that up by where he lives, that the day before he had seen numerous National Guard vehicles heading up towards the GILA National Forest. And I was like, whoa, really? Someone killed a snake randomly. I hate when people kill animals just randomly to be assholes. But, you know, I said, is that something normal that you'd see? Is random National Guard trucks? And he said, Jeff, they weren't just trucks. He said they were, you know, they were a couple of personnel carriers, but a couple of them had some, I guess you'd call them, for the military people, the Medusas, the ones with the big guns on them. And I said, were they equipped with the guns, or did they not have the guns on them? And Senior said, yo, they had the guns on them. They were, you know, fully geared up. And I said, that's so weird. I really honestly think that we missed something. Something went down that, you know, they only needed that 2-minute time to keep all of us occupied, you know, to keep us looking at our phones, to keep us distracted, you know, because a lot of people thought that something crazy was going to happen. Something did. It's just now what? Did they move military and National Guard troops into our federal and state parks? Did they, you know, who knows what they did? But we all know that they are up to no good. Robert Sr. said he was going to go up to the park today and look around and see if he could see where these National Guard trucks went. And I said, thank you, please don't put yourself in any harm's way, which hopefully he doesn't. But yeah, so that'll be the rest of this upload. I just needed to get out of the house and kind of go for a little walk. You know, I fished here. That's the craziest part, is I used to fish here as a kid, you know, and years later to find out that there was an actual Bigfoot encounter or sighting. It would be less of an encounter. But yeah, I'll show you. Hang on one second. So you can see where those two telephone poles line up. Up there is the hill. The hill kind of meanders down and comes around to where I'm standing now. And I guess they were coming down that hill and saw this hairy hominid creature just run off through the woods, and that's fairly steep. That's a fairly steep embankment up in there. That's something a human isn't gonna just jog through, you know? And I mean, look at this. This is all woods, you know? And then I don't know what these green things are going across this private access road. And that's the Hudson, but back there used to be nothing but campsites back there. Now you can't go back there because there's construction. There's a complete closed off construction area, which is strange. What are they building? Who knows? Nothing for, you know, Bigfoot oriented, but probably another treatment plant or something for the river. But yeah, just a beautiful area, beautiful day. But back to what we were talking about, I really honestly feel like those couple of minutes that they kept us distracted was enough for them to pull some major BS. Move troops quickly. You know, then people might be like, oh, they need minutes to do that, hours. Not if they're already staged. And when it comes to trying to pull the wool over the public's eyes, our government are experts at that. You know, experts. So, river's high today too, wow. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back in touch with him later today. I just wanted to go for a walk, kind of do a little talking for a few minutes to you guys. But think about that, you know, because nothing happened. I mean, I was vaccinated. I'm not a zombie. Dogmen aren't running our streets, you know, so who knows? Now the wind's picking up. This is gonna be a bad recording. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit later when I'm at home after I've talked to Robert Sr. Okay, so I made the beginning part of the video down, like I said, at the Hudson River, where there is a documented Bigfoot case or experience, encounter, sighting. I read about that one night when I was scanning through BFRO, New York State, and I was like, wait a second, Nolan Road, Moreau, New York. Holy cow, that's right down the road from my house. I don't think I live in a hot spot. I just think we have a lot of weird crap. The Hudson River Valley area is really famous for some very strange things going on. There's a reason why Jackie Gleason lived where he lived in the Hudson River Valley, and after hanging out with Richard Nixon and going and seeing a real UFO, built a home that resembled a UFO that he saw that night. Really a lot of crazy stuff, satanic activity, Bigfoot, Dogman, cryptid, UFO, paranormal. I could just keep going. And a lot, it's everywhere. It's not just centrally located anywhere. I mean, you could live in, you know, the smallest 400 population, 400 in Idaho or Indiana or wherever, and still have some sort of creepy experiences that had been documented, whether it be wherever. But needless to say, really cool location. I like it. It's a nice spot. It's a quiet spot. I did find out why and what the building was or what they're doing. there was a sign that I read, and it was from New York State Department of Conservation, and I always thought it was wetland, so they couldn't build down there. Apparently, they're just paving that area that I walked, so a lot of older folk that walk their dog can go a certain length down, which is pretty cool. But further down is some really deep trails and some really cool campsites. Anyway, I was supposed to talk to Robert last night, Sunday night, and I texted him, "Hey, how are you?" He said, "I'm waiting for JR or Junior and his friend to come home or call me so I can go pick them up. I'll call you tomorrow and let you know what's going on." So I said, awesome. Waited most of the day today, and because I don't like texting people like Victor. I won't text him because I just feel like I'm bothering him. I'm gonna text him. Actually, I'm gonna call him in the next couple of days if I don't hear anything from him. But Robert finally calls me out of the blue at like 10:15 last night and said, "Jeff, I don't know if what we were talking about is for certain or if it's right, but there is some strange stuff going on in the GILA." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "I've read in the comment section that you have subscribers from my area, and they will know these locations." So yesterday, they wanted to see what the National Guard was doing up there. So they drove up Route 15, and it kind of meanders through, I guess. Never been there, but there's two spots, and his friend, or his son's friend, Junior's friend, who we will not name, got out in one location, which is a trailhead campsite area, and JR got off in another. The friend was going to go the back way around, and JR was going to go front, face in, and they would meet. So they got dropped off. "Dad, we'll call you when we want you to pick us up. Okay, be careful, please." Actually, Robert tried to get his son to bring a firearm with him, and JR said, "Not after last time, Dad. I wish I could, but after what happened." He was taking photos out in GILA and near Diablo Range, and there's another range called Granite Range in between the two, and they arrested him for vandalization. Forest rangers did. And then he was brought to the sheriff's station, and charges were dismissed. It was just more or less, stay the hell out of this area. Don't take pictures in this area. Funny thing is, now many of these state and federal parks are making it illegal to take photos or videos in the parks at all anymore. And if you get caught, you get fined or possibly jailed. So they end up getting dropped off. The friend has a longer hike, but JR has a longer ride. They end up meeting in an area just before Granite right after Diablo Ridge. So they end up meeting up, and Diablo Range or Ridge sits kind of like right here, and Granite Peak, they're separated by roughly 2 miles of hiking trail, moderate hiking trail. Where they came through, they were under it. They were in an area called White Pinnacle. And they walked up a mile into that area. Robert, after dropping the boys off, or the young men, drove up to where the parking area is for the GILA cave dwellings. And he had seen a couple of National Guard vehicles there. Turned around and left. There was a couple of, I guess, soldiers walking around. He's kind of nervous about his son and his friend. Well, when the two young men come up into the area between Granite Peak and Diablo Range, they hear a lot of talking, and what they see is, and they didn't purposely bring any phones, any firearms, anything. They had a day pack with them with water, sweatshirt, the necessities in case they got searched. Because that's what got Junior arrested last time he was there. What they see is National Guard and what looked to be the Army Corps of Engineers in a location where there was some caves. They saw a couple of people come out of these caves, soldiers. They stayed for like 2.5 hours, and eventually they heard and felt a mild rumble, what felt like a very small earthquake. I guess a couple of the Army Corps of Engineers and a couple of the National Guard, who are armed with long rifles, headed to the entrance of the cave. As they are walking, they hear this kind of squeal, this pitched noise, and they can hear the guys. They can't hear what they're saying, but they can hear them yell. The Army Corps of Engineers take off back towards where they had just came from, and the two National Guardmen are looking in this cave. There's like 4 or 5 others, kind of on one side of the trail and on one side of the trail. So if anyone's coming, but where JR and his friend, they walked up, kind of blazed their own trail. This is where JR, or Junior, whatever you want to call him, I call him JR. His dad calls him Junior. JR grew up here. He blazed his own trails all his life, rock climbing, doing just, so this is nothing strange for him. Anyway, what they see is the trail is blocked off on both sides, They hear this strange noise. They see the Army Corps of Engineer. And after the rumble, they see one of the soldiers shoot into the cave entrance. They can't see how deep this cave is now. They just felt a rumble, definitely not earthquake, an explosion to seal the cave. Nothing comes out. The noise stops and nothing comes out. It was a high-pitched squeal. He said it reminded him of the day they saw these crawler creatures killing the Dogman. Not the Dogman sound, but what the crawler sounded like. They immediately turned around and started to walk out. Now, they get to White Pinnacle and they start heading to Mount Bushy. And make sure, Mount Bushy. That's where Dad can pick them up. As they are walking, they're talking, hey, what the hell did we just see? What just happened? On a ridge, probably 200 to 300 feet above them, they saw a large quadruped, wolf-like creature staring down at them. It's a straight cliff, so they can't climb up, and this thing isn't going to just jump straight down at them. And the way the cliff range goes, it goes up like that. The canine would have to go backtrack. It might be able to get them, but it would be hours. They'd be back to where their father was, or his father was picking them up before this thing, even running at what calculated as speed. It stands up and kind of makes this howl, like growl noise, not like a wolf howl. And it points at the two young men, drops down and takes off going up the pathway. There's a ridge, so I'm imagining it's woods and a path or animal trail. They don't know what that means, but they take off. The friend is like, holy shit, you're not lying about any of this. You and your dad are telling me the truth. He went up because, first of all, he's one of the friends that JR can trust. Second, he's kind of into the paranormal and into cryptids, but he doesn't really, he believes that there is a Bigfoot, but he really didn't believe in anything else. They take off and they do get to the end of the trail. They call Robert. He's about 45 minutes. Drives up, gets them. JR tells Dad what happened. Robert says, okay, I want to check something out while we're back here. They drive north or up into the mountain range, so it would be north to where the National Guard trucks were parked. They're still there, but they're kind of now more of them. Robert sees, because they pull in and they turn around. They're not telling anybody that they can't pull into this parking lot. There's, they can't go on the trail, obviously, but you can turn around. They see what appears to be Army Corps of Engineer men and National Guard moving stuff around, And as they are leaving, kind of pulling out, Robert looks in his rear view and sees what he thought was a body bag. Two men carrying it, not very big, maybe 5-6 feet. They didn't look like they were struggling. He says to the kid in the back, because Junior can only see so much from the side view, turn around, what the hell are they carrying? Is that a body bag? Is that a body bag? He's stopped where they were. The friend goes, I think so. Robert says, how big is it? And he says, human size. They take off and go. What was in the body bag? Was it a human? Was it a National Guard member? Was it an Army Corps of Engineer member? Was it a crawler? Was it a juvenile dogman? No one knows. I don't know. They don't know. But it's what they saw. He didn't go up today. He contemplated going up Monday, Columbus Day, and didn't. Now, why did they go up there? Was it because when JR got arrested for vandalization, he actually told the Rangers what he saw? He said that he had told them, I saw some kind of humanoid creature in these caves. He didn't say anything about the Dogman or the fight that he saw, but he said, I saw these kind of humanoid creatures. What the hell are they? That's why I'm up here. I want to take pictures of them. Why he said that, I don't know. But now that brings the Army Corps of Engineer and the National Guard there. So that's the update that I have for you from GILA National Forest. Hopefully Robert can keep his son out of there. His son, like I said, that's his, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything. His pastime and addiction is the outdoors. Like I've shared in this would be the 4th upload talking about Junior and Robert. So, very strange stuff, very strange theory in the very beginning. I hope you enjoyed this upload, and Robert Sr. is going to go, when all this stops, he's going to go and probably spring or summer and get some photos for us from inside the Mammoth Cave, inside the GILA National Cave Dwellings, because he really, from years, it's been years since he's gone up there, but he really remembers seeing kind of monster-like cave art. So anyway, guys, please stay safe. There's a reason that things are getting really crazy and shady now, like Acadia National Park being closed up in Maine, the LBL, this whole thing of where you can't take photos or videos in federal or state parks anymore. None of it makes sense. I think they're trying to put the cover down and try to encapsulate whatever they're hiding up there. I think that for many years, I really do. I think for many years, the government military used their capabilities and their powers to keep these cryptids in these parks. And I really honestly believe that when David Paulides brought the missing 411 to the public's eye, that's when shit started to kind of take off, and you started seeing a larger number of federal forest rangers, a larger number of law enforcement around these parks. I really think that, I think the time of reckoning is upon us, to be honest with you. And our government is no good. And when I say our, I mean the one world government, not America, not the government that we see on TV every day and make fun of. I'm talking about the one world government is no good, and they are up to no good, and they are using our militaries to do their bidding. With that, my friends, thank you for supporting this channel. Your support is what makes this channel so special and what continues to make it grow and go. Guys, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on your children, the most precious commodity on this planet. Your pets, your family, your friends. Share a little bit of the information that we share with each other on a daily basis here with those that you love, and it may just save one of their lives someday. Guys, God bless you all, and have a blessed and wonderful day.